If they lose, they will be a bubble team. If they lose, at worst, they will be a bubble team. So they've got their destiny in their own hands. They have to go and win their next game, their last game this weekend to secure a playoff spot. Irving Ballas, East Houston Longhorns, Galveston County Seahawks are 3-3. If they win out, they win both of their games that they must complete this weekend, they are in the playoffs. If they go 1-1, they will be a bubble team. If they lose both games, they are out of contention. They're out of contention. Now, I say that after looking at the playoff handbook, and I will tell you that if there is not enough 4-4 bubble teams, which in Division II there probably will be, but if there's not enough 4-4 bubble teams, or as I mentioned earlier, if those teams fail to answer the call after 2 attempts, and they go down the line or need teams to fill the brackets, they will take a 3-5 team. They will take a 3-5 team. So there's some very slight variables that one of these teams could backdoor in at 3-5, but the odds are not very strong for that. The odds are not very strong for that. So again, they hold their destiny in their hands at 3-3. They need to win out their last 2 games to secure a playoff spot. If not, they go 1-1. They're on a bubble. If they lose both, odds are they're out of the playoffs. Killeen Cowboys, Southside Cowboys, Mercedes Tigers, Manor Tigers, La Villa Mighty Cardinals, San Antonio Trojans, Texas All-Stars. All 3-4 must win their last game in hopes of being a bubble team and selected. So that's what Division II flag currently looks like. We take a look at Division I. Ruthless Wolfpack are at 4-2. So they've got 2 games to try to secure that 5th win and get a playoff spot. They're at 4-2, need to win 1 of their 2 that remain this weekend to secure the playoff spot. Killeen Trojans are at 4-3. They must win their last game to get in. If not, they'll be a bubble team. San Benito Greyhounds are done. They are already a bubble team at 4-4. Wilco Tigers are at 3-4. Capital Area Junior Wranglers, Fort Bend Fresno Jets, Tri-County Titans, all at 3-4. Must win their last game to at least be on the bubble. That's the best that they can do. Weslaco Thunder, Judson Junior Rockets, both 2-4. They've got 2 games remaining. Rockets, one of those games is against the San Antonio Predators. They must win both to get on the bubble. They must win both to get on the bubble. By the way, the number 1 team in Division I flag is the Killeen Co. Chiefs. Number 1 team in Division II flag is the West Texas Longhorns. So that's what flag is looking like. Tykes Division II. Has a 4-4 team ever made a deep run in the playoffs or to state before? Yes. Yes, they have. If I remember correctly, it was the Pflugerville Hawks. Their flag team came in at 4-4. Made the field of the playoffs and then rolled through everybody and made it to the state game. Yes, it was. It was the Pflugerville Hawks that played the Steelers. What a run that was for the Pflugerville Hawks. I remember that. That was a fantastic run by them, especially being a low-seeded team at 4-4 coming in, just get backing into the playoffs and then making that kind of a run. It was fantastic to watch. All right, Division II Tykes. Number one team in Division II Tykes is the Lubbock Texans. At 4-2 are the Galveston County Seahawks and the ATX Wildcats. They've got two games this weekend to finish out the regular season. They need one of those two games to secure a playoff spot. Junior Brahmas, Texas Storm, Southeast Texas Oilers are at 4-3. They must win their last and final game this weekend to secure a playoff spot. If they lose, they're a bubble team. Lubbock Red Raiders are done. They're 4-4. They're on the bubble. Irving Ballas are at 3-3. If they win out at their last two games, they'll get in the playoffs. If they split at 1-1, they will be on the bubble. Brazos Gators, Manor Tigers, Edinburgh Raptors, Mercedes Tigers, El Paso Spartans, Texas All-Stars, Southeast Junior Hornets, New Era Indians, all at 3-4. They must win their last game of the regular season to get on the bubble. Everybody else is pretty much out of contention. Division I Tykes. Number one team in Division I Tykes right now. It's the Southwest Houston Junior Marlins at 7-0. At 4-2 are the Judson Junior Rockets. They've got a game Saturday. They have their final game on Sunday against the 7-0 number one team, number two team, the San Antonio Predators. They only need one to secure a playoff spot. They only need one to secure that playoff spot. At 4-3, Capital Area Junior Wranglers, the 210 Outlaws, Katy Texans, Brownsville Falcons, Harlingen Cardinals, all at 4-3. One final game for the regular season. If they win, they're in. If they lose, they're on the bubble. At 3-4, Weslaco Thunder, JYSF Venom, Cy-Fair Ravens, all at 3-4. They must win their final game to be considered a bubble team. Waco Modocs are at 2-4. They must win both of their games to be a bubble team. So that's Division I Tykes. That's how that's looking. Somebody answering a question. I think that was for me. Anthony Mark told Greg, yes, he is, but not going to be on Facebook Live. Yes, we will be live here on Typher Radio Sunday night. It's the Typher Radio Playoff Reveal Show. It will be Typher Radio broadcast only. I will not be on Facebook Live. I will not be on Facebook Live. I will be on Typha Radio only. So it will be audio only. As that's what I do, is Typha Radio. I really only do the Facebook Live when I'm here in studio. Because it's easy for me just to turn it on and leave it and set up that this way. When I'm mobile, it's hard for me to do that. So that is the flag. That is the Tykes picture, how it looks right now. Teams that need to win to get in or be on the bubble. Those with 5 wins already, you already know you're in the playoffs. You're in the playoffs. Hey, something else I need to remind you guys about, and that is the Volunteer of the Year award. I know you hear the promo that airs here on Typha Radio, but let me tell you how important this is. Your volunteers, I guarantee you, ADs, presidents of organizations, anybody you know. How did I leave the Chiefs out of the conversation? The Chiefs are in the playoffs. I already said it. They already got 5 wins. They already know you're in. We're looking at the ones that are fighting to get in. The Typha Volunteer of the Year award is an important award. If your volunteers are not out there during your home games on game day, even your ones that are on the sidelines, your team moms, your coaches, whatever, the ones that run your concession stands, the one that sits up front and takes care of the gate. These people need to be recognized. That's what the Volunteer of the Year award is all about. Coach Joey Teague, I had the opportunity to know Joey Teague personally. Him and I coached side by side with the Live Oak Jaguars, and a fantastic young man, despite his health, despite his physical challenges, despite his health challenges. Joey made sure he was out there for these kids each and every day at practice and in the games. And he was out there all day. He didn't just show up for the senior game. He was there all day long. And it was truly an honor to be able to coach next to Joey and be a part of his life and see what these kids meant, what this league meant to him. This is an opportunity for you as ADs, as presidents, to recognize your volunteer. If you've got a volunteer on your staff that just goes above and beyond, they get it done for you weekend in and weekend out. You got games, they're there. They're the first ones setting up. They're the last ones there cleaning up. They're the ones that are always there to answer the questions, take over, do this, do that. You know who they are. Recognize those volunteers. It is so easy to do. It's so easy to do. Send the information, send their info, and maybe just a quick write-up on how fantastic of a work they do for your organization. Send it to helpdesk@typha.com. Submit them for the Joey Teague Volunteer of the Year award and get them recognized. This is a fantastic opportunity to say thank you to your volunteers, to one of your volunteers that just goes above and beyond. Get it done. They get recognized during the playoffs. As we head toward the last part of the playoffs, I believe championship day is when all the recognition is given. Patty Teague and Mike Teague go through each of these people who are nominated. They look at their information. They look at what's going on, what they've been doing, and they make those selections. So by all means, get on this now. Get on this now. You've had all regular season to see what your volunteers do. So select them, nominate them for the Joey Teague Volunteer of the Year Award, Typha Volunteer of the Year Award, and submit them to helpdesk@typha.com. The other thing to look at is the Typha Scholastic Awards. There are 3 awards that are out there. And I know Lisa Cannell, who's on the board, and she sent this out to all of the athletic directors. And I had an opportunity to take a look at what they're looking at. And this is another one of those that is just fantastic for you to recognize your players, your kids, for not what they're just doing on the football field, but what they're doing in the classroom. You got the All-Typha Scholastic Achievement Award. This award is given to any athlete with a 98% or higher GPA who did not qualify for the first two awards, and we'll go through those as well. They must be at least 8 years of age as of August 1st.